say quickly, a wise man like me doesn't have time for idle chatter. I mean, especially we have so much books to study. I mean, look at them. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Malachi. So much to know about him. What do you mean, him who? Him! Jesus. Who else would I be more interested in? He's the one. We saw his star. We saw him. You're not following me, are you? Oh well, I'll try to explain from the beginning, shall we? Let's start from the start. As you may know, I spend a great deal of time observing the stars. Now, it was back in the time when Akabaki was king. I've been comparing the scrolls of the Jewish prophets, and as well as our ancients, and I just knew something big was coming. There had been some curious activity in the heavens, and I just couldn't shake the feeling. But as I looked in my window, I saw a brand new star, and each night it grew until it was the biggest star in the sky. Why, it was bigger than Andromeda, it was bigger than Sirius, and for an astronomer, it was quite serious. Anyway, I just knew it was his star. So, in a heightened state of excitement, I rode into my Maserati and went to my colleague Itima's house. Funnily enough, I rode into him in his Maserati, right into my house. I said, Iti, my goodness, man, have you seen it? Have you seen it? And he said, of course I've seen it. You'd have to have a cataracts in both eyes to miss it. He says, just like the prophet Isaiah said when he stated that, oh, where is it? There it is. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a virgin will be with child and bear a son, and she will call his name Emmanuel. And I said, so you've been reading about the Jews too. How about Micah, when he said, but as for you, Bethlehem, Ephrathah, too little to be among the clans of Judah. From you one will go forth, for me to be ruler in Israel. His goings forth from long ago, from the days of eternity. And of Balaam, when he says, I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come forth from Jacob, and a scepter shall rise from Israel. This is it. So we grabbed our friend Larry, bundled up our charts and our maps, hit David Jones for some gifts worthy of a king, and we're off in search of our star. We went over hill and mountain, field and fountain, in search of our younger star. That's actually quite catchy. I might write that down. Field and fountain. Okay, that's pretty good. So, it's reasonable to assume that a king would be born in a palace. Mainly because it was my assumption. So we went and we visited the resident monarch, a certain King Herod. But surprisingly, he was very ignorant of the affairs of his own kingdom, especially at an event such as this. So there was no help. So we bade him farewell. But as we took leave, Herod says, when you find him, please send word back so that I may worship him too. Something like that. Anyway, so we left. And we're on our way to search for our star. Why, we went past a few palaces, past a few five-star hotels, even a nice golf resort. But the star just kept drawing us further and further until we reached our destination. A stable. A dirty, fragrant stable. Surely not a place worthy of a king or royalty. But that is where the star shone, and that's where we found him. The baby Jesus, Christ. Oh, if only you could have seen him. God incarnate, mighty counselor, Prince of Peace. As soon as we saw him, we fell down and worshipped him. I mean, what else could we do? We were in the presence of the Christ. We gave him gold, frankincense, and myrrh, gifts only fit for a king. Now, later that night, my colleague received a dream, and an angel of the Lord had visited him and said to avoid Herod. He was up to no good. So, we went a different way. Oh, but what a privilege. We had discovered, or found, should I say, the Messiah. Out of all the discoveries, inventions, and philosophies of man, we had found the Messiah, the greatest discovery. Now, as you may know, people might say that I am wise, and that may be true, but you be wise to seek the Christ. He is not far, he is alive, and he is available. If you seek him, you would find him. I did. You can. Now, I'm sorry, but I must get back to my study. There's just so much to know about Jesus Christ.
There is born child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day, and man will live forevermore.
I wasn't expecting any guests. So good to see you. Come in. Welcome to Galilee. Me? Yeah, I've been good. Yes. My children, they're all grown up. I know, it's really sad. Jesus. You want to know about Jesus? You want to know about his birth? Everyone always asks me that question this time of the year. Mind you, that wasn't always a good thing. Well, it was a story. Well, no one believed me. Well, if it was me who heard that a girl fell pregnant through the Holy Spirit, I would have struggled to believe her too. How did the angel say it again? Oh yeah. Behold, you will conceive in your womb and bring forth a son. Even saying that out loud sounds funny to me. But hey, I'm getting ahead of the story. So I was 14 and I was just engaged to Joseph. You know Joseph, the carpenter? Yeah, everyone knows Joseph. Yeah, my parents, they were so happy. You know, Joseph was just a young, good Jewish man who, well, loved God and loved me. I was so happy. I was actually thinking about our wedding day. You know, I was thinking how I was going to do my hair and what type of sandals I was going to wear. And then, well, out of nowhere, this angel just appeared. Oh, I was stunned. Before I could scream, the angel was like, "Do not be afraid." Easy for him to say, he was huge. But the next thing he said, oh, that shook my soul. He said I was going to be with child. I said, well, how can that be? I'm a virgin. I'm a faithful daughter of Abraham. But the angel, he said to me that God had chosen me to carry his son through the Holy Spirit. Oh, I was humbled. And I was so happy. And well, when I looked at the angel again, he was kind of just waiting for an answer. So I said, well, let it be. And just like that, the angel was gone. But, oh, that was when reality hit. I realized I'm a 14-year-old girl, 15 soon, and pregnant before my wedding day. Oh, and then I thought of my parents and the shame I was going to bring to them. And then I remembered Joseph. Oh, Joseph, my poor Joseph. Oh, the shame. You know, by law, he could have had me stoned. But, oh, Joseph, he was just so very kind to me. When I was found, well, with child, he just let me go. He, well, just let me walk away, and we called off our wedding. But, well, the next day he came running back. He said that God had sent him an angel telling him to marry me. So, well, that's what happened. We got married. I was overjoyed. And then, well, 9 months later, we traveled to Bethlehem for the census. 9 months pregnant, traveling on a donkey. Oh, that was rough. Bethlehem, no hotels, no motels, no caravans, no power tents. I would have done anything to take a blowout mattress. But no, we got the shed. Anyway, oh, giving birth in a stable, that's going to be on every girl's bucket list. But, oh, the baby, oh, The moment I held my baby, all the pain, all that shame, it just didn't matter anymore. It just melted away. What I had was my baby Jesus in my arms. It was just beautiful. And well, about a month later, we took Jesus to get dedicated in the temple. And this lovely old man, Simeon, he came running to me and rejoicing. He said, "Lord, I can depart in peace, for my eyes have seen your salvation." And then he looked at Jesus and he said, "He is a light that he will bring, and a revelation that he will bring to the Gentiles, and that he will bring glory to his people of Israel." Oh, me and Joseph, we marveled. I was thinking, this is my son Jesus. He's destined for greatness. But it was almost like Simeon, he was reading my thoughts. He interrupted me and interjected. He said that he will cause many to rise and fall, and as a sign of this, my soul will be pierced. Oh, my soul still bleeds when I remember that day Jesus hung on that cross. But that day, standing in that temple, that was a long, long way away. Standing there, Jesus was just my baby. He was just my son. But, well, when that little baby became a boy, and then, well, one day he became a man, I watched him grow up and I realized he wasn't my son. He wasn't Joseph and I's little boy. He was everyone's. He came into this world to bring light, peace, and joy to the world.
Hey! Hello, strangers. Welcome to the Outback. Mate, you know, my dear old dad, he used to say, we're all strangers until we meet, and then we're mates. So now that we're mates, what can I do for you? Oh, you want to hear that story? Oh, I've got to tell you, I never tire of the tale, eh? Yep. And now that we're mates and all, why don't you pull up some dirt and I'll fill you in, eh? Let's get all comfy. Now it starts with me and Bruce and Davo tending our flocks by night. Yeah, we're shepherds. Shepherds are good ones, you know. Sheep, they aren't too bad, you know, once you get used to the palm. You know, they're smelly little fellas, but they're kind of friendly like, and you don't hear of too many shepherds being trampled to death now, do you? No, you don't. Oh, anyway. Yeah, so it's night time, we're out here in the outback with the sheep. Now, me and Davo, we decided to hit the sack early, leaving Bruce in charge, you know. Now, Bruce, he's 6'9" and full of muscle. Good idea, leave Bruce in charge, no problem at all. Now, I'm just pushing my way past Davo's apocalyptic snoring. When out of the dark comes a very agitated-looking Bruce, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Mate, did you hear that?" And you know, when 6'9" of agitation comes at you out of the bush, you pay attention. So I prick up my ears and go, "Nah, mate, I can't hear nothing." And he goes, "That's what I mean. I can't hear nothing neither." You know what? He was right. Something was dead wrong. So we're up on guard, like the good shepherds that we are. Is it a bear? Is it a lion? Is it a poacher? No matter. You want to get to our sheep, you've got to come through us, buddy. Zero chance. That was until we realised it was something a little bit different. You know, it was in the air. It was all electric and tingly like. You know, like in a thunderstorm before a lightning strike. When crack, boom! Right in front of me is this great big angel. I tell you, saw him with my own two eyes. He was big and bright and shiny. He had a chest on him like a cement truck. Oh, I tell you, me and the boys, we just went straight to the ground. We played dead, mate, because we knew we were goners. Because angels, they be holy. Me and the boys, on our very best day, we're just rotten scallywags, you know. Anyway, the angel's there and he breaks the uncomfortable silence by saying the darndest thing. He goes, "Do not be afraid." That's what I was thinking. "For unto you today is born in the city of David the Messiah, the Lord, who is Christ the King. We're like, wow. Standing up by now, he comes up all close and personal like, and he says, unto you there will be a sign. For you will find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. We're like, wow. Oh. Then all of a sudden, crack, bang, boom, smack. There's hundreds of them, hundreds, maybe thousands of angels, and they're swooping and hollering out in their great big, blokey angel voices, singing, glory to God in the highest, peace, goodwill to all men. We're like, yeah, this went on timelessly, timeless. And all of a sudden, they're gone. I'll tell you, they're flat gone. Not a feather, not a halo, sweet, nothing. And when the boys and I, we're gobsmacked. We've got eyes like dinner plates. Wow. And my mate Dave, he sort of pegs himself as a bit of a leader. He goes, boys, let's get out of here. And mate, we turned tail straight off into the nearest town. All we could think was, we've got to find a baby. Got to find a baby in a manger. Got to find a baby in a manger wrapped in swaddling clothes. Whatever they are. Anyway, so we made it into Bethlehem. That's in Bethlehem, closest town. We went from house to house and then door to door. Then we shed to shed. We came across the inn and they weren't there, and they pointed us around the back, and all of a sudden, bingo. It's a little family with a little baby. Yeah, but I'll tell you, there was no place for a baby. It was dark and it was wet and it stank like us. You know, as we creeps in, all respectful like, you know, the little lady, the mum, she pulls back the covers so we can have a peek at the baby. Oh, friend, I tell you, I don't know how a baby looks at me like that. It was like he looked straight through into my soul, and he saw everything and knew everything about me. It was like he'd seen every card game I'd cheated, every cattle I'd pinched. He'd heard every putrid, lying, filthy word that had crossed these blasphemous lips of mine. He saw them, he heard them, and he knew them. And I felt like a dog. I felt the weight of my shame, the weight of my shame. And in front of that little baby, I dropped to my knees and I dropped my head, because I knew I was in the presence of something, someone holy. Holy. You know, when I got the courage to lift my head and look back at the baby, he was smiling at me. And that smile swept through my soul. And I felt the burden of my shame lift like a cloud. And I knew, I don't know how, but I knew that this baby, this little boy, had come to rescue me. He'd come to rescue me, and I knew that because of this little boy, it was all going to be okay. Everything was going to work out right because of this little baby. It was a holy night. A holy, holy night. You know, I'm sorry. I should have warned you. This story gets to me every time. Yeah, you're welcome to stay by my fire for as long as you like. All night if you like. As long as you don't mind me talking about Jesus. God bless you.
I am a commander. I was a young soldier, and I did all that I was commanded, answering only to Caesar. Now, it was not my responsibility to question the ethics or the morality of Caesar's commands or the commands of those that he placed in command. I followed my orders to the letter. But there were times when I questioned the sanity of my orders. And not that I would have given voice to my misgivings. No, that would have been suicidal. But on 2 occasions, I believe that my masters were profoundly mistaken. And oddly enough, on both occasions, they revolved around the same person. The first was when Herod had ordered us to march on to Bethlehem. A child had been born that Herod had felt was a threat to national security, his own security more likely. But we were ordered to kill every male-born child in the region of Bethlehem, 2 years old and younger. What threat was a 2-year-old child to him? What did one baby pose as a threat to his despotic rule? So much innocent blood. My Lord, what were we thinking? But I followed my orders to the letter. Now, it wasn't until many years later that I presided over the execution of a Jew, Jesus by name. And I hadn't realized it at the time. But this was the very same man that Herod had ordered us to kill in his massacre of the innocent children. It seemed as though it was Jesus' destiny to die at the hands of the Romans. Although I never deemed him a threat to Roman rule. He claimed to be the coming Messiah. He did good all his days. He healed the sick. And I even heard that he'd raised some from the dead. But those Jewish leaders, they hated him with a passion. They stirred up the people against him and threatened Pontius Pilate, who was the Roman governor, with civil unrest if he didn't have this Jesus crucified. Pontius Pilate could not find any fault in this man. But ultimately, in the end, handed him over to us, to me, for execution. I'm not proud of this, but we did our job with a perverted lust. We almost beat that man to death. It was like a bloodlust that couldn't be satisfied. We then forced him to carry his cross outside of Jerusalem, up a hill called Golgotha, the place of the skull. There, hung him on a cross. So much innocent blood. My Lord, what were we thinking? You know, he was unlike any criminal we'd ever executed. While he hung on that cross, I heard him say, Father, forgive them. I mean, how could he? And after hanging there for agonizing hours, he said these words, "It is finished. He bowed his head and he died. And there was a great and terrible earthquake, and the skies darkened like I'd never seen it before. It was as if the gods were raging at the death of this man. He was the Son of God, they say. And I don't doubt it with the way the heavens reacted at his death. Now, I'm not a superstitious man, nor am I religious. But I have another reason to believe what they say about this man. After they'd taken his body off the cross, they placed him in the tomb of one of Jerusalem's most influential men. And then I received the strangest orders of my career. We were to guard his tomb. My Lord, what were they thinking? What did they fear from a dead man? But I took my troops. We went down to the gravesite and we stood guard. And then something happened that I cannot explain. We were standing there wide awake and watchful, when all of a sudden a great light shone upon us and knocked us to the ground as though we were dead. And I saw what I saw. The stone rolled away and out came the man, Jesus. Is this what they were afraid of? That this was the Son of God and the death could not hold him? Is this what they feared? And that they would have to bow before him? Well, they're still going to have to bow before him because he is the Son of God. Those are the facts, my friend. Now you know the truth. What are you going to do with Jesus Christ tonight?